sponsors, see who's paying the bills. Chase Bliss and Tour Gear Designs. All right, here comes the intro music. I just kissed Steve's side of the screen.
Oh, I definitely processed that as you kissing your mic.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
Everything you just said is completely true. Let's jump on to the first advertisement. Let me pull it up here on our shared screen. It is for a vintage Gibson 1966 EBO electric bass guitar in Polaris white. I don't think it's fair to just call this a Gibson EBO. This is a SGPJ Bass.
Yeah, this product is described as headstock repair, added pickups, electronics change. This product comes with case. I don't even know where to start with this, man.
Well, we're looking at the SG style bass design that has that gigantic, huge pickup in the neck. I don't know what's going on with those pickups, but they're just impressive how huge they are on those basses. At its core, I think it's an attractive instrument, but then someone's gone and done a modification to it.
I don't hate this modification.
I kind of don't either, and it's kind of makes sense if you think about it. They threw in the PJ set, the P bass combined with the jazz bass pickup. I have no idea what those big Gibson neck bass pickups sound like, but you can't deny that a P bass pickup and a jazz bass pickup together are just a really wonderful modern solution for bass.
They're called mudbuckers.
Oh, the big one?
Yeah. If that gives you any idea what that it potentially sounds like. Also, I'm kind of
crystal clear and have a little bit of a hum to them.
I'm also kind of confused on this one. Where are the freaking screws at?
Oh, for the mudbucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be screws in them.
Like, does this thing even work?
That is always a question worth asking.
I mean, I'm assuming I guess I've never thought about it. Like, if you take the pole pieces out of a pickup, you still have a coil.
Right. But sometimes the pole pieces are magnetic. I don't know the specifics of this pickup design, so I couldn't say. If the pole pieces are not magnetic, then this still will function. If the pole pieces were the magnetic part of this, then it's probably not going to function great. If there's another magnet inside, or if those were the only magnets, I don't think that's ever the case. I don't think ever the poles are the only magnets, but I think sometimes they are magnets to help.
Right.
I don't know how pickups work. I'm not a pickup scientist.
I know we need to bring in why isn't
bring in an expert? Who are you going to suggest?
I don't know. We don't have any friends who are pickup makers, I guess.
We have pickup makers we've worked with, but yeah,
we
do not stay friends with them because they're such awful people.
Oh my gosh! So basically, like a mudbucker, it gets its name. I did some quick reading, and they are kind of known for like really duplicating like a double bass tone and nothing else.
Like
gotcha. They're all low and low mids and not much else, and so hence the name mudbucker. So here's the deal. Maybe it's because of the color. I don't know, but I'm seeing the EBOs in much, much, much better condition on eBay for like the same price and not
mangled.
Not mangled. I'm not seeing this color though.
Yeah, I really like this this off-white, this cream color. I'm sure it was bright white when it was brand new. But I like it anytime an SG is anything other than black or red.
Yeah.
And you make them white and that just pops. So
the classic EBO is definitely
I'm pretty sure Ariel has
cherry.
One of these. My bandmate in Dinosaur Ghost has one of these as his bass.
Oh yeah.
but his is cherry.
Like it's the color or the condition?
It's not cherry. It's not in perfect condition. It's the color cherry.
That threw me for a second.
Yeah. It said it had a headstock repair. You can see that there is like a crack along the headstock. I don't know if that is the repair or if that's just a finish crack.
I think that's the repair. I think it was like just glued back together, but not refinished.
And they just got it put together really tight, so it just looks like a crack.
This scene looks like a lot of fun, but it's not $1,400 of fun.
No. I mean, what would you expect to pay? I mean, this was listed on Guitar Center, by the way, with basically no description.
Oh, this is in La Mesa.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It was by Daniel Esporma, by the way. If I don't know if I mentioned.
I think he lives in I think Daniel Esporma lives in New York. So he must have just been on.
Why is he stalking our Guitar Center? Oh,
you know what? Never mind. It's in Guitar Center Grand Rapids.
Oh, that makes more sense. It's saying, but it's you could pick it up from La Mesa.
Yeah, they will ship it to La Mesa, which I think usually when you ship to store, they'll ship it for free, I think. Yeah, I'm definitely not going over 1,000. I'm thinking 750 tops, maybe.
Yeah, I'd have to touch this thing in person to get stoked on it.
And I mean, that's the thing is I could see sitting down in.
It doesn't have the original bridge either, does it?
No, it doesn't have the original.
The original bridge has like those big side posts and it's got holes for those.
Yeah, it has like the original pick guard and tuners.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 of the strings are original, but I'm not sure if it's the red wrapped strings or the not wrapped strings.
Wait, does it say 2 of the strings are original? Because
no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Sassy Cat says $350.
I mean, I think it's worth whatever someone thinks it's worth.
Damian Martinez says 800 tops. I like how mangled Martinez like it was a new word.
Like you've never seen that word. It's Martinez.
Martinez. Robot Master Switch says 650 to 800 tops. Yeah, I think I'm vibing with that range. I think I would have to see it in person. I mean, this is in a hypothetical world where I'm shopping for a bass. I'd have to see it in person, see how it feels, see how it checks out, if the neck is fine and stuff like that. Make sure everything works. If that pickup doesn't work, then there's a bargaining point for me. But if everything works, I can't see myself going over 750 on this.
Yeah. Like I said, like these things in good condition, good original condition, are like 1,400. People try to sell them for a little bit more, but you're kind of stuck there.
You're never going to be able to revert this thing to original condition because of the wood taken out.
Well, you just got to get a lot of wood filler.
Well, I guess you could. There's people out there who can work that magic. They can fill it with, replacement pieces of wood and then match the paint and make it all blend together. But man, by the time you're done spending that money, you should have just bought a real deal one, or one that's not mangled. What do you think, Steve? You think we covered it?
I think we did. What are you drinking tonight, man?
I am drinking. Well, last week, Grant from Bigger Pedals sent us some money over PayPal and was like, go get yourself some drinks. And so my wife was going to the store today and I told her to just pick something for me. I was like, use your best guess, go off the art. I don't care. Pick something. So she picked this Yeti for me.
Oh, nice.
From Great Divide.
Where was she shopping that she found Yeti in a can?
Just Vaughn's.
Dang.
Just the local Vaughn's, which is a safe way for the people living elsewhere where you don't have Vaughn's. But it's an Imperial Stout. Tastes really good. I haven't had a lot of beer lately. It is dark, 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 dark. This is going to blow my blood sugar off the charts. What are you drinking, man?
I'm drinking the Garage Brewing Triple. And we'll see how this goes because I think I might be allergic to this beer.
Are you serious? What part
there's a few beers that I don't know. if what's in them, what it is about the process that I'm like, I like break out.
Oh wow.
Like I'll get really rashy, like a red wine rash kind of a thing.
I have not experienced that one.
Yeah. Well, it's because you're not Asian.
I
I mean, I don't know if that's what it is, but and it is
proof.
It is, yeah, it is weird that
I've been wondering if I was Asian.
there's like some beers that like it doesn't matter, you know, I can have 1,000 Coors and I will never break out. I will just die. But then like other ones, like I said, it's like a red wine effect. So I don't know if there's something in the way that they make this that leaves like the sulfites in or whatever they put in it. But I'm pretty sure this is one that when I've had it before, I've definitely had a rash. The last time I totally unrelated. The last time I went, not the last time, one of the most recent times I had beer, it was after going hiking. And so I think I picked up like some allergens on the hike, got a bunch of like weird pollen in my lungs. And then I drank the beer and I broke out super bad because I think my immune system was already like tripping balls on the pollen.
That pollen is strong stuff.
Yeah, it was like not the business.
I don't have any allergies, so I don't know exactly what you people go through. By you people, I mean allergic people. My son gets allergic to cats, so he gets all sniffly and seems miserable. I'm like, man, I'm glad I don't have allergies. Seems awful.
Tin Can Spaceman says, I'm allergic to tequila. I break out in handcuffs.
What else is new, man? What do you got going on?
I was supposed to record a you know, a lot of like bands and churches and stuff are doing the record from like they're doing the stems thing basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we were supposed to do one of those this week and I just couldn't get it together, which was a big bummer. But our place is so small, and I would have been like recording in here. I basically was like looking at trying to figure out how to rearrange the entire room. And then the whole thing is like, they want to be able to see the instrument. So I can't sit where I'm sitting right now. I have to like sit on the bed somehow. So I was like, wow, I'm trying to figure out all the logistics of it. Trying to figure out like, what do I do with my pedal board? Cause I can't really step on it while sitting on the bed. I did put together like a cool little pedal board that was the Haymaker, the DoD Rubberneck, and the Afterneath. Okay. So I'm kind of bummed I didn't get to mess around with that. That would have been a lot of fun.
So when you play off of stems, is it like playing to a track and then they put it all together afterwards?
Yeah. So what they did is our worship leader recorded like a scratch track at church after church last Sunday. So it's just keys and vocal and the MD track, you know, gotcha. Verse 2, 3, 4, you know, that whole deal.
Yeah.
And so they sent that out. They sent out 3 songs where it's all like that. And then you record your part on video. You just record the video. And then you send it to someone who's gonna put all of the like different videos together.
That would be nuts.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that's how all of the bands that have been doing it, like where it looks like they're live streaming, but they're not. They're just each one is recording their individual part, and then one of them or a producer or something is putting it all together.
So much of my playing, because I'm sloppy and undisciplined, is reactionary to the other instruments, to the drums, to the bass, even right? The keys. If I was playing to the tracks, I don't think it would work for me. I think I'd be too all over the map. I think I'd send it to them, and they'd be like, "Oh, we can't really use this because it's not matching with anything else."
Well, that's the nerve-wracking part about it. Melissa and I were talking about it. Is how do you like when you do this, you have the opportunity to go back and be like, oh, I don't like what I did there.
Right.
the idea is that we were supposed to just play these 3 tracks. Like they sent 3 songs, but the idea is that you would just put them on a playlist and go from the first song to the second song to the third song, and you just go all the way through. But you know, how many, like, on the one hand, I could be like, oh, I'm just going to bust this out and send it off and be done. On the other hand, I could also see like, recording, getting to minute 16 of the video when you're, 2/3 of the way through song 3, hitting a note so bad that you're like,
yeah,
I have to record all 3 songs all over again.
I'd get stuck in a loop of just being like, that sucked. I got to start over. Oh, that sucked. I'm gonna start over.
I'm looking forward to seeing what like everyone else put together. I'm sure it'll be fun, but
eventually I just start sabotaging it. Be like,
just play it all in the wrong key and be like, I don't know what's wrong.
Let's see what happens if they can deal. Let's see if they can deal with this harmony.
Everything sounds good, and all of a sudden the electric guitar drops out, but you're still going at it like in the video, and then all of a sudden your camera blacks out.
I hope they like
for the rest of it.
I hope they like feedback and dissonance, because that's what they're getting. I'm gonna play Behind the Bridge on my offset here.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've been messing around with the Tysco interface.
Oh yeah,
as like a sit on the couch, mess around, like jam sort of thing at night, because I plug it into the laptop. It's just, there's really no like crazy features to this. It just looks really slick. And it's like it's a 2-channel input device. It's a 2-channel what is it called, interface.
So what is it? So what is this, like the kind of like the orange thing?
Kind of, but it's more of just, it's more interface, where the orange thing is meant to be like a connection to apps specifically that then feed into your amp as part of a pedal board. So this can be a direct interface into your computer for recording, or just getting your signal in there. And you can output. It's got 2 outputs, so you can output to monitors or output to an amp.
Cool.
Output to headphones. You can probably do 2 headphones at the same time. So because you can record 2 tracks at the same time, if you're sitting there with Buddy, you could record both your tracks and monitor at the same time. And then it's USB out right there to get it into your computer. But anyways, yes, it's just a really basic interface in a pedal board format. You could put it on your pedal board. But what I want to talk about is that, because I've been using that, I've discovered just kind of how great a lot of the sounds in GarageBand are. They actually have like a legitimately drippy reverb in GarageBand.
Oh yeah,
which is shocking to me, that there's so many pedals and so many like modeling amps that don't do that well. And then hidden there in GarageBand, there's some very drippy, surfy sounds to be found. So I need to record some sort of little track. But my little bit of messing around the past couple of nights doing that, I've realized that I've completely forgotten how to write a song. I can write loops. I can sit and jam and noodle for a while. Like, I was just making these little jams, like, well, I've got about a minute of jamming over 2 bars of chords. Where do I go from here?
That's what a song is.
Yeah. But I need to figure out, verse, chorus, bridge, and so on and so on. It's been too long. It's been too long since I wrote actual songs. So I need to figure that out.
So one of the guys who's in the live chat right now is his name's Fret Level Midnight, which of course I take as as like a fun guitar spin on The Office. Michael Scott's movie was called Threat Level Midnight. And then you talking about like, songwriting, you've got the verse, the chorus, a bridge, made me think of the character Kevin, where he's like talking about like, oh, I love the alphabet. You got your A's, your B's, your C's, the elemental P's, Q, all of the letters. You got all of the letters.
I hate that even as an adult, like if I need to figure out where a letter is in the alphabet, I have to go A, B, C, D, and like
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, where is Q again? What
and
is
it's completely arbitrary, right? Like
yeah.
Like the order of the letters are kind of nonsense, but
Yeah,
they're
there's
so
no reason why they
ingrained.
need to be in an order at all. Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
I mean,
okay, 2021, let's pass a law to make it so the alphabet is in random order every time.
Oh my gosh. I'm already fixated on getting rid of letters. So I'm on the simplified alphabet train.
I could get behind that.
You know what I'm talking about? The one where it's like
I get a vague idea of it. Like, let's replace various things with other things and just call it a day. Like, no more C's and K's. Just combine them.
Well, I think the one that I've read about that I'm pretty behind is there's no more C's. The letter C doesn't make a sound that another letter doesn't make. So you get rid of the letter C. All of your hard C sounds are now K's. All of your soft C sounds are now S's. So a word like cleanse, it's just K L.
If you want to make it kooky, you put the K backwards.
N S, cleanse.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a whole big old thing on it. What's new with you? Oh, the Teisco pedals. What's new? Okay, yeah. So here's the other thing that's hilarious. Got to be completely random. I hope.
Lay it on me.
Maybe not. I don't know. Right when you started talking about that pedal, Lauren from Teisco started messaging us on Instagram.
Oh, it's because I sent her a message earlier.
Yeah, no, I figured that out, but I was like, that's crazy.
Now people know her name. Can't censor that out. Way to go, Steve.
Yeah.
I don't think she cares. I don't think she wants to be anonymous. But
I only gave her first name. It's not like I said, "Hey guys, go friend this person, full name, social security number, bank account number,
have her social
PIN number." Do they have social security numbers in Australia? I feel like they probably don't.
I don't know, but they might have them in where she actually lives.
I thought she lived in Australia. Does she not?
That's where she was from. We're giving a lot of information about her.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, if you work for Teisco, you must live in Japan, right? That's the way it works.
No. All right. Do we want to tackle the topic, or are we doing a sponsorship?
We're doing a sponsorship. This week's first sponsor is hold on. I didn't take notes on what's new.
You want me to just pick one?
This week's first sponsor is Chase Blidio. Chase Blidio. Chase Bliss Audio.
Chase Blidio.
You got to sing the song now.
Chase Blidio. Chase Blidio. I don't know what song you meant, but
the song you sang last week for Chase. All right. Anyway, Chase Bliss Audio. They make all kinds of pedals. They make the thing that Ryan is looking for right now, the Automatone preamp Mark II, Mark Dos.
I still need to plug it in and start prepping to demo this thing, but man, there should be lights inside the box when you open it up to show off the glory of this pedal, the glory of this thing.
Oh God,
the church joke right there.
Well, it took me a second. That's an old school one.
Yeah, you could use that pedal for church to make songs like that, or you could use it in the studio to impress your clients. And like, oh, hey, you want to plug into a drive pedal, a preamp? Let's pull this thing out. It moves. It's robotic, and your clients in your studio will be just impressed. They'll be blown back. Their hair will blow back because they've never seen a pedal that's robotic like that. And we'll be like, we picked the right studio to record in. Or you could throw it on your ambient doom metal board or whatever, and take a big old hit of the bong. Just press the preset button and watch those sliders fly back and forth and have a good old time. Yeah. So Chase Bliss Audio. Go check them out. Go check out the Automatone. Go check out all their other pedals. I'm in love with the Blooper. I'm in love with the Dark World. I'm in love with Brothers. I'm in love with so many other pedals. I just did a video the other day that had the Gravitas in it. The first Chase Bliss pedal.
Oh, yeah.
I had. Thing's too good. They're all too good. For pedals more creative than you are, Chase Bliss Audio. Go check them out.
Chase
Send them
Bliss
money,
Audio.
buy some stuff, even if it's just to thank them for supporting the content that you love. Oh, damn. Someone sent us a super chat. Damaged.
Oh,
262 sent us $2. I was going to give you 200K, but you started WOM? I have no idea. I have no idea what that means. All right. The topic. Do you want to do the topic now?
Yeah, this first topic was sent by somebody.
I sent you a screen grab, dude.
I know, I'm opening it.
Andrew Higgs sent us a topic. He said, about the guitar store of the future. Contactless, is that a thing? And burgers, maybe hot burger and hot pups. He wants to know about the guitar store of the future and hamburgers and hot puppies. Maybe he means pickups, but so guitar store of the future. What do you think, Steve?
You know, I think I don't know what contactless guitar store looks like.
It means they don't touch you anymore,
No,
Steve. Remember when you go in a guitar store and everyone was touching you?
Yeah, I get it. But I'm saying, like, I don't know what that looks like in terms of, you know, you talked about going to Guitar Center last week and how, you know, they're limiting the number of people who can go online, and that's already a change.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, like, where do stores going? Like, are they wiping down all these guitars afterwards, or they just figured, like, you know, are they checking people's temperatures before they go in?
Well, I think once we get past all this business, I think the temperature stuff will be over. I think limiting how many people go in will be over, but I think people are going to be twitchy for a long time.
Oh yeah,
about stuff being dirty, about stuff not being cleaned, about touching stuff that other people were touching.
Well, I think it depends. It's going to depend a lot on where you live. So
yeah. But maybe we'll see the guitar store of the future where everything's more behind the counter, the way things
right
be more often, like Guitar Centers of the world and stuff put everything out for everyone to touch, which is fun for the window shoppers of the world. But maybe it's not the best business model, because I've complained so many times about picking up a guitar off the wall at a Guitar Center and just being like, man, this thing is trashed.
Right. The other side of it, that is, like, I mean, that already works decently in like a specialty shop.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's sometimes you just want to go in there and you're sitting around going, you know, people need to just go in and they go like, I got $1,000. I don't know what I want. I just want to sit down and play guitar. And if I like one of them, I'm just going to buy it. I'm going to buy it.
Right. Well,
and
maybe
so
we'll go back to the good old days of having, I mean, this is me just throwing out a crazy idea, having knowledgeable staff, and you go up and you talk to the staff and like, oh, I'm looking for this or that. And they recommend something. And then they bring you the guitars while you're sitting there playing. You're like, I like this one, but I wish it was a little bit more like this. And they're like, well, hell, I got the guitar for you. And then they go grab you a Gretsch. And you're like, that's a little bit too Gretchy. Anything kind of Gretchy, but not all the way Gretchy. And then they go get you a Guild or something like that. You know? I'm talking about customer service, a return to service.
A return to service. Yeah, I doubt it. They want to just hire. They just want to hire high school kids.
Yeah. Well, they want to pay for high school kids. They'll hire anyone who will take that amount of pay.
That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think that's adept. I think you may start seeing stores where it's like more going towards like a high-end style. I will say we went to one store and it was like very it was almost like they wanted to have the contactless experience. I went there and basically I think that they were a kind of an acoustic specialty store. They did have some electric guitars, but we were there. One of my friends played acoustic and was looking to upgrade and probably to spend like $2,000 to $3,000 on a guitar. And so he basically went in there and told them like, oh yeah, you know, I'm looking for this and this is kind of the price range. And they were like, oh, we don't sell anything in that price range. And then it kind of got into like a weird pissing match because he's like, well, I'm not really looking to like, I'm looking to buy like a guitar that's going to get played all the time. They're like, well, we assure you that all of our $7,000 acoustic guitars that are purchased get played regularly. It's like, it was just kind of weird.
For a guitar that I don't need an insurance policy on.
Yeah, it was wild. Like, he basically told him like, this is what I'm looking at. This is the brand and whatever. And they were like, oh, we could get that, but normally we don't buy like that low end from that company.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see a return of like specialty stores, like niche stores, depending on how you pronounce it.
That's a nice crispy little fizz I got there.
Nice fizz.
Can you hear that?
I can hear it. Nice fizz on there.
Audio people are gonna be like, oh, I hate you.
But like Guitar Center kind of try to appeal to everyone at the same time, and because of that, they miss a lot of marks. They miss a lot of markets. Where there used to be scenes of mom and pop stores, like you think of like Buffalo Brothers.
Yeah,
they had some very niche products in there. You think about Guitar Trader. These are local stores that are defunct now. They disappeared.
Yeah.
That had niche collections in there that you couldn't find other places. So maybe like in big cities, it's like you'll see stores popping up like, oh, if you want vintage, go over to this store. Oh, you want the cheap stuff? You want Squires and Epiphones and all sorts of like wonky import stuff? Go over to this place downtown. Like they've got it all. You can try it all there. They don't have anything else though. Like I think that would be, I think focusing on like making stores a destination for specific things would be a good marketing move. But I don't know. I don't run a shop, so maybe shop owners.
Well, I think
like that doesn't work, Ryan.
I think the hard thing is that assuming that everything has, and maybe this is a little bit too much of an assumption, but I don't know that it is. Like if you kind of just assume that everything has like a 40% markup, you're making on $100 guitar, you're making $40. Basically, right? On $1,000 guitar, you're making $400. So thinking about it that way, like what's easier? Is it easier to sell 10 $100 guitars or one $1,000 guitar? You're making the same amount of money,
right?
And I think that's where like you kind of get stuck, and that's where the tire kicking pays off, because you have the guys who come in and they try a Squire 51. And they go, oh, this is neat, and Guitar Center or Sam Ash or whatever is going to sell, 100 Squire 51s in the same time frame that they sell like one PRS Modern Eagle.
Right.
And maybe just the for those stores, like the having one $10,000 PRS is what gets people to come in and be like, oh, this is a really cool thing to look at. I'm going to buy the $2,000, $3,000 PRS now.
I think it would be interesting to see the Thomann model in the States. I mean, we've got Sweetwater, but the shop that they have on location is pretty basic and pretty. It's like a smaller version of Guitar Center. I mean, maybe they've changed it. I know they have a new warehouse. Maybe they have a new showroom floor now.
Right.
But Thomann is interesting because it's way the hell out in the middle of nowhere. Basically, it's in this very tiny little town. And there's even like the next closest towns are not a big deal. Like the next closest town is like a tourist town.
Right.
There's not a lot going on there other than just tourist stuff. But it's a destination for people. People are like, oh man, I'm going to go drive to Thomann and I'll get a hotel and I'll go hang out and I'll try everything there, because Thomann floats on being an online retailer for the most part. But then their store is like, it's a maze of different departments and stuff, and they have a huge selection there, and people go out of their way to get there. Like, what if someone started a guitar store? Anytime there's like a guitar store in our town in San Diego, they try to get it as close to population centers as possible. But what if someone started a online distribution warehouse that had a really bitchin' store, like out in Alpine, or out in Borrego or something like that, or even out in the back ends of Ramona? These are places that are for people that don't know geography podcasting.
Yeah.
These are places that are a good 45 minutes to an hour and a half out of the city, out into the boonies, you know?
Yeah.
So you've got a showroom floor for people who want to make the pilgrimage. And then you're mostly floated by your online retail stuff.
How many people? So do you have any idea how many people are actually employed by Thomann?
Oh, a lot. But I don't think it takes a lot of them to run the actual store.
Right. No, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, how many of the people who are employed by Thomann actually live near? I'm just reading about that whole area
right
now. It's kind of wild.
The town, I doubt most of them live in that town, but there's, towns around it.
Right. Well, yeah. So, Bamberg, is Bamberg where you stayed?
The first time.
Yeah.
And that's a good, 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from Thomann.
What in the world? The Bamberg district does not include Bamberg. The town of Bamberg is located in Upper Franconia.
Oh my God.
Anyway, there's apparently anywhere between 183 and 300 people who actually live in Treppendorf.
All right, we're about to change topics. Freaking Big Gear Pedals, Grant and Karen just super chatted us $420. You know that Google's going to take a big chunk of that, guys. You just PayPal it.
All right, we're not gonna do that. We're most likely not gonna do this next week. We're gonna have to strategize on how to do this because this is complicated.
We're doing the 420 level of Patreon share. Damn it, guys. We're gonna have to try. We're gonna have to do some hard planning to figure out how we're gonna pull that off.
Might have to make it a Friday night.
Sure.
You ever get crossfaded?
What is crossfaded?
It's when you drink and you smoke.
Steve, we had this discussion last week. I've never partaken.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did. All right. Yeah, and everybody, I agree with Robot Master Switch in the chat. Go buy a Big Ear woodcutter. They're freaking great. Go buy anything. Go buy anything.
Demo the loaf. The loaf is a lot of fun, especially on baritone.
Yeah.
Damn it, Grant and Karen.
So you're saying Sweetwater, you're basically just saying like they need a better showroom.
I'm saying what if that I'm not saying that about Sweetwater. I'm saying what if that model was more common? Like anytime you hear about a cool guitar shop in the States, it's as close to a city as possible, which means the rent is going to be higher, which means costs are going to be higher. You think about Thomann, they have a lot of high-end stuff, but they have these budget lines that people really love, the Harley Benton stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, what if there's an American version where it's not such like a rat race when you're there, because it's not everyone in the county just like, oh, I'm here to just kick the tires. It's like people made a trek to be there intentionally. They're taking their time. They're more relaxed. They're, not being all aggro. Because business is cheaper out in the boonies, there's better deals maybe, or maybe there's a product line that is sold directly through this. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. It probably doesn't make any sense.
No, I think the problem is there's an American mindset that makes that harder to happen. As far as stores, having their own brand, it's interesting because you see that for everything except guitars.
Yeah.
Guitar Center has I think it's Digital Reference, is like their own line of microphones. Sam Ash, the Samson brand.
Well, I think Sam Ash. Well, even Thomann, the brand is Harley Benton. It's just everyone knows, like, hey, this is Tomann's house brand.
No, I know, and that's what I'm saying. Like, American companies have that for other products. Like I said, Samson microphones. I'm pretty sure are like I don't know if they're exclusively sold through. I guess they're not exclusively sold through. They're sold through a lot of things, but my understanding is Samson microphones were started from Sam Ash. Maybe not, because I'm seeing them sold a lot of places.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think a lot the reason to separate the name from the brand is, first of all, it's corny. I mean, Guitar Center could have come out with their own line of solid state amps, but instead they rebranded Acoustics and came out with an acoustic line of solid state amps that don't really have much to do with the original Acoustics.
Yeah.
And I think it is to not be corny, but also separate yourself from the brand in case people hate it. Then it's not like, oh, remember Guitar Center amps? Oh, it was just awful. Instead, like if they ever need to ditch acoustic amps, and like, oh yeah, that wasn't us, that was Acoustic Amps, even though it is their house brand, you know. So I get that, but then, you know, like if Guitar Center wanted to have a line of guitars, they could do it. They could do the same thing as that Thomann is doing. They're sourcing the production to overseas factories that are probably making guitars for all kinds of other people. Guitar Center probably has a contact for those people. They could start having, you know, their version of a Les Paul or a Strat-Mate or something. I think they just don't want to do it. I don't know. They've probably looked at it and like, nah, it was too much effort.
Well, I also wonder if there's like a difference on the Americans. It could be effort. It could be effort. I mean, I think there's definitely advantages to there could be something with the market there where
the political side of it too, with the brands that they work with. Like, I'm not totally sure how Thomann gets away with it. Maybe just because they're the biggest in Europe, like a huge retailer that like Fender and Gibson, everyone else looks the other way. They're like, well, they got to do what they got to do, and we got to sell through them because they move the most product for us, you know. Mm-hmm. So maybe Guitar Center doesn't think they could get away with that sort of thing, you know, where they like can challenge Gibson and Fender while still selling Gibson and Fender. I don't know. We really changed the topic here. This doesn't have anything to do with
was it someone, not Paul, someone else in there was saying Mitchell Guitars is actually a Guitar Center house brand. And I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Even like I have one of their acoustics, and then years ago they were trying to find like YouTube pitchmen, but that was before we were doing like really getting heavy into the stuff. But
those guitars looked wonky.
Yeah, they were kind of, but free guitars, man.
I was gonna say, just load me up.
I was gonna say, like, I think what some of the differences too is, I think when you from what it sounds like, when you're a shop in the UK or Europe or whatever, it might actually be cheaper for those brands to just like to start their own like cheap guitar lineup than try to get like Squire, because with Squire you're like having to pay like an American customs upcharge versus just getting it at the same thing direct.
Someone in Brazil over Instagram a while back, and they were saying like you pay like $1,000 US for a Squire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's crazy.
You were telling me that.
That's crazy. And to get like even a Mexican Fender is big money down there, let alone an American, you know.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing that we get them for as cheap as we get them here. I think it's just competition, you know, and the availability of them, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I was starting to crack plans to like, oh man, I got to go down to Brazil. I can carry 2 guitars at a time. I'll sell them and it'll pay for the trip.
Right.
Yeah. Next ad?
Yeah, this next ad was sent by Anthony G. Corbo.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a unique used Fender Duosonic 2017. They got a major overhaul. How so? Paint has aged to a duller yellow, giving it a vintage look. Has custom racing stripe on the rear. It looks like it's on the front. Replace the wiring with the GFS quick plug system with coil tap. Replace your pickups at any time with no soldering. Stock pickups upgraded to GFS, crunchy rails in the bridge, and Lil Killer in the neck. These boys are hot.
pickups.
Replace the wiring with the GFS quick plug. Why did he say this twice?
I don't know. He did it twice.
He says the whole thing twice. Replace the stock tuners with genuine. Dude, I was reading that.
Oh, sorry.
With genuine Fender locking tuners found on American Fenders. These things make string changes a breeze and hold their tuning like crazy.
Insane tuning stability. It will drive you wild.
Yeah, fret action is fast, and the guitar has hit a few bumps. I included pictures of all that I can find, guessing 5 to 7 dings, scratches, slightly bent pull-up tone knob. Harness was intended for a Tele style guitar, so I had to Frankenstein the pick guard to make it fit. The neck pickup sometimes takes a minute to kick on, but that could just be user error on my part. What is it? The battle damage is too much. If the battle damage is too much for you, the pick guard can always be replaced. Bottom line is, this is a fun mixing a guitar that you don't have to worry about being bored with. 3-position pickup switch and pull-up tone knob that functions as a humbucker coil split. Change from media to twangy sounds. Ships in Fender gig bag. This price actually came down, I think, from when you screen grabbed it, from when I originally saw it.
I grabbed the screen grabs that George sent.
Anthony.
I was thinking of the G.
Okay, for some reason I thought it dropped in more. Even at $400. How much did you pay for your Duosonic that you returned?
I think it was like $375.
Yeah, $400, man.
Too much.
This is all side grades and semi rat rotting.
I mean, every point that he made, every thing that you had to read through, just take off $30 per point. I mean, that's your price under $400. Yeah. So this thing should really be like $250.
Do you think? I do wonder about this paint has aged. I definitely don't feel like this is a normal Fender color, so I do wonder, like, what
did they do to age
how did they age this in 3 years?
Yeah. Also, I mean, the pickguard is just mangled. They painted it.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, they painted it, and then they're like, "Oh, I got a tele wiring kit, so let's just smash the crap out of this." And because it's a tele wiring kit, tele kits, the amount of lead between the two pots is pretty limited. So they just
no. I think the problem was the switch, because they couldn't, like, you've got a guitar open, you've got to be doing soldering. Maybe they weren't doing soldering because they mentioned the GFS no solder kit.
Yeah.
So instead of soldering, because they weren't prepared to solder, they drilled new holes, and then I'm assuming dremeled in a slot for a 3-way switch.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they did. And what I'm saying is, they had to put in the new holes because
there's no spacing for a tele.
Yeah, because these pots are already spaced, and when you buy, like, because I've owned 2 of them, like, you don't have a ton of lead line.
When you buy a pre-wired harness, like, everything is lined up the way it needs to be without extra wire, which is a great thing if you're buying a harness for the guitar that you're putting it in.
Not this wacky nonsense.
He needed to, 1, have a soldering iron, 2, know how to use it, disconnect wires and move the components around instead of hacking up a pickguard. I mean, for me to want to buy this thing, I'd be investing in a there. My mic muted for some reason. I didn't do that.
Yeah, you just, like, roboted to death.
Oh, weird.
On my end.
Now you sound robot-y on my end. To do that? This is exciting podcasting right here. I can't hear you at all.
I haven't done it. I've just been moving my mouth.
Is your mic on? You sound like a computer mic all of a sudden.
This is my mic.
I don't know what happened. That's weird.
Anyway, I hate everything about this. You had one of these little killer pickups. Is that the one that you had?
Yeah, I think it's the exact one that I had. It was kind of muddy.
Oh yeah. I just look at this and I just think like this is a fun $250 project, maybe 300.
Yeah, it's a project starter. Like you could
person.
save this. I don't hate the big fat racing stripe on the body. But there's a lot that needs to be fixed here. A lot.
You don't hate it, but you should. I mean, I guess this guitar is $600 new, which is kind of wild.
That's got to be MSRP though.
That's what it sells for. I'm looking at a brand new one on Sweetwater. That is, if you add it to cart, it's going to go in at $600.
So maybe closer to 300, but I wouldn't pay over 300. I mean, this thing's too mangled. Yeah,
this is. I'm trying to see if I can find one on eBay real quick. Duosonic HS. The other thing, I guess, the other problem is that they're pretty new, so finding used ones is trickier. I just also I'm really turned off by somebody saying, "Oh yeah, you don't like what I did to the pick guard? Just buy a new one." It's like, it's not selling it for me. That's not.
Yeah. Why don't you replace the pick guard if you want to sell it for what
you're recognizing that you trashed this thing.
Exactly.
I hate it. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Super Rich Steve goes, "Oh man, this is a piece of art. I'll give you $600." Then smashed it in the driveway.
I'll give you $6,000.
Yeah. Wow, amazing. You've done so much incredible work. It's a masterpiece. I only have a few upgrades. Oh, it's okay. I'll upgrade it in your driveway with this can of kerosene.
Yeah. Do we want to do a sponsor next or the album?
Yeah. This next sponsor is Tour Gear Designs, maker of this tiny little cable.
Tiny little cable. I've got a stack of them over here. I've been using them for all my demos. And anything I do on the desk here with pedals. I like them. The thing I keep saying about them is I like how flexible the actual cable is. It's nice and soft, and you can push it between pedals and it'll get really compact on you and kind of get pushed out of the way. You can give it a nice little pigtail twirl on there if you're connecting pedals with top jacks next to each other. And of course, it's got the little tiny plastic head on there and the little short stem going off of it. It doesn't have a long stem like some soldered and honestly solderless patch cables have. So it's nice. They're really compact. They're flexible. They sound fine to me. I mean, I can't tell the difference between one cable to the other when I listen to them, but I think they're great. And, I kind of wish I had some more of them. I put together a board the other day. I was like, man, I wish I had more of these Tour Gear Design
get some more
patch cables.
Go check them out.
In them, click the link. I don't think we have it up there right now unless Steve put it in there for the live show. But if you're listening to the podcast or watching this later, click the link. If you buy them, use code 60cyclehum to save 10%, I think. And you get free shipping with a $100 order. So there you go. Thanks, Tour Gear Designs, for supporting yet another episode of the podcast. Album, you ready?
Yeah, this week's album was chosen by me. This is Hum. You'd prefer an Astronaut.
Hey, could you check the input source on your mic to make sure it's taking your mic, because it really does sound like your computer mic right now.
Yeah, give me a second.
Sure. Just click settings and check your audio.
Audio is Rode NT USB.
Weird.
I cannot unplug it and plug it back in.
Yeah, give it a shot. It says it can't unmute you because your mic is not connected.
Any better?
No, you're back, but you sound the same. So weird. It completely dumped the quality of your mic on me for some reason. So anyways, what did you think of this album, Steve? Hum. Can you hear me?
There we go. Now I can hear you. You got my microphone again? Is that working?
Yeah, I hear you.
Cool.
But no, you don't sound as good as you did at the beginning. You still sound like
weird.
Computer mic.
Yeah, I don't know. Must have downgraded.
Weird.
This album. I picked this album. I actually listened to this album like 4 times this week.
Damn.
I really like this album.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me what you like about it. Lay it on me, man.
So I think this album kind of hits in my mind. So I kind of wrote this on the first one. I said some of the note bends. So first of all, first track, Little Dipper. I said some of the note bends sound like this is supposed to be bleeping out dirty words. And then I said, I've always mentally grouped hum into the same space as a lot of like the mid 90s, kind of that generic ambiguous kind of mid 90s emo adjacent post-punk whatever. So bands like Sunny Day Real Estate, Sense Field, Drive Like Jehu, to a lesser extent like Jawbox. Hum is kind of, I think in my mind, more of like the droney side of that. But I think the big song off of this one is the song Stars, which still gets radio airplay, at least around here. And then I think my big exposure was hearing that song a lot on a compilation I picked up called Nowcore, which was called, it was like Nowcore, the future state of punk rock or something. But all of the bands on it are like late 90s, again, like post-hardcore, post-punk. So bands like Jawbox, At the Drive-In, that kind of Drive Like Jehu again, I think was on it. Braid, bands like that.
Right. Hold on a second. I think I figured out something weird going on. The audio is actually playing through my computer speakers. Is it playing mine? No. So right now you're messing up my recording because the speakers are getting picked up in my mic.
Why is your side playing my audio through your speakers?
I have no idea what's going on. It's not supposed to be doing that.
I cannot control your side.
That's and I have the audio off on my computer.
That is weird. I'm just gonna keep talking, I guess.
This is bizarre.
Talk to talk. Talk to talk.
Sorry for all the technical issues, guys.
This is riveting for the
a pain in the
live
ass
streamers. Or for the audio listeners, they're like, why can't these guys figure out how to like run their freaking crap?
I'm gonna remove myself. Now I'm back.
Oh, you left. It working? Does it sound better?
It does not sound better.
Oh, Ryan.
What the heck? Why the heck would it do that? Why does it override my control of the speakers?
So weird. Is your stream? Did you like change your StreamYard settings?
No, it did this own. The StreamYard settings are all the same.
You're just roboting hard, man.
It won't let me change the volume on the computer. Why is the computer speakers working at all? So bizarre. We'll just endure. Okay, you keep talking about.
All right. So this album, man. I mean, I took some notes. One of the things I'll just say, I was looking at because for a few of the songs I wanted to like actually read the lyrics and figure out what the hell was going on.
Oh, we might have to end the show. I just spilled beer all over the computer.
Are you kidding me?
No. God damn it, Ryan.
Oh, man.
All right. This is the end of the episode, guys. All right. We'll see you later.
I'm just going to keep recording.
Not if I end the broadcast. I got to shut this down.
I'm just sending you my full audio.
I can't even control the.
Is this still live? Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys still see me? I got this picture in front of my face. What's going on right now, guys? Besides, I got this picture stuck in front of my face. All right. Anyway, You'd Prefer an Astronaut. The thing that I learned today about this album from reading on YouTube is that this album apparently was a big inspiration for Chino Moreno of the Deftones, which makes perfect sense to me when I think about what little I know of the Deftones and listening to this album. You got a lot of like really big drony guitar sounds going on. You got a lot of other really cool things going on. This is just like a really great, cool album. That I don't know what else to say about it. I really enjoyed it. I think if you are a fan of, again, like I would say like this post-punk late 90s emo adjacent sound, hopefully you've already checked this out. I listened to this. I feel like I had listened to this album before the 4 times I listened to it right now, but I don't know when. But yeah, I was really looking forward to hearing what Ryan's thoughts on this were. And now I will never know. I will never know what Ryan thinks unless he tells me later. So I guess that's that. Other notes I had on this album, the 5th track, The Very Old Man, is probably my least favorite track on the album. Because it's like a super stripped down. It's like the acoustic, it's like the acoustic track, I guess, on an album. You know, the one that you don't want to deal with, the one that you're like, oh, this could be really good or really bad. This one was just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. So just, I don't know, not a big fan. My favorite track on this album was the song track 7, I'd Like Your Hair Long. It's really poppy and that's fun. It's my favorite on the album. And I really liked, so there's no song on this album called You'd Prefer an Astronaut. It just drops in this thing where it's like, the opening of this song is I'd Like Your Hair Long. I'd like it laying on the ground. You'd Prefer an Astronaut. And that's the album title. And it's just dropped in there. And I used to think that was really pretentious, and now I just think it's really fun to do stuff like that. And then this album, like, or this song, like maybe 4 minutes in, kind of does it, like 4 minutes in, it kind of starts getting crazy. And hold on, there's a jet going over my house. I live in the flight path for a local military base, so sometimes this happens. We'll just wait. Okay, it's gone. But yeah, it gets kind of funky. It gets kind of not funky. It gets kind of weird in the middle, and then it just has this big breakdown finish. So it's a lot. I mean, that's another thing that's kind of typical for this era of again, these kind of indie post whatever bands going on. So yeah, that's my take. I wish I could have heard Ryan's take, because when I sent him to this, he's like, what are you sending me? Like, what is this album? And I was like, oh, it's Hum. And he's like, who's that? I was like, the song Stars. And he was like, oh yeah, the song Stars. And guys who are asking about my room and show us your gear, I'll show you that stuff when I actually get to the end of the show. I'm going to do the show. We're going to do the show, guys. So that's that. That's the album. Go check it out. Hum, You'd Prefer an Astronaut. I'm going to move. Nope. I'm going to move over. I don't know where I'm going to move. I'm going to move over here so you can actually kind of see my face. So yeah, so that's that. This is a part of the show where we do housekeeping. Ryan always forgets about this part of the show, but that's okay. I like money. I'd like to thank housekeeping is part of the show where we thank the people who help make this show happen. This week, I'd like to thank at the $1 level, Peter Madonna, and at the $5 level, which is the best friends level, is Dan Pratt. I've said this before. It's absolutely true. Whether it's $1 or $20 or $420, we appreciate everyone who supports the show. Ryan and I always say if everyone who listened to the show donated $1, that would completely change the way this show operates. I think, it would change the way that this channel operates. But, we also appreciate everyone who's hanging out in the live chat tonight, everyone who's going to listen, send in your songs, whatever, hang out in the Facebook group, all that good stuff. So a lot of good times. So thanks again. If you want to support the show, head on over to patreon.com/60 Cycle Humcast, and you can sign up there. Very cool. All right, this last ad that I cannot show you because I don't actually have. Oh, I can. Can I do this? Oh, I can't. I was going to try to share my screen so you could try to see what was going on, but you can't. But this last ad was sent by Greg Dodd. I'm just going to read it to you. You're going to have to picture it in your mind. This is a prototype Fender Voyage Air acoustic. It says, here's a crazy rare one to consider. This is one of the 3 prototype Fender Voyage Air acoustic guitars. This guitar pivots at the neck joint and collapses so you can take it to the beach or on a plane. Stored in its backpack style carrying case. I'm actually really glad this comes with a proper carrying case. Excuse me. This is a very cool guitar that was actually featured on Dragon's Den before Fender signed on to do a limited 100-piece run. What's Dragon's Den? Is that like Shark Tank? I have to imagine that's like Shark Tank, right? This is serial number 3, which was the last of the 3 prototypes created. The body of this guitar is the CD140 spec, so it's a great solid top guitar, a brand new guitar. Since it's so rare, I don't have a range for price point, so feel free to send me a reasonable offer. The price listed is the classic $123,456 price point. I do not know what to do with this. Ryan just sent me a picture. He really dumped it all over. I wish you guys could see this. He needs to post this to Instagram. Holy crap. I don't think he realizes that the show keeps going when he signs off. So yeah, so this is just one of those traveling guitars. It splits at the headstock. I don't know, man. Like it's a trip. It's kind of crazy. I don't know. You guys have to go see this. It's called the Fender Voyage Air Acoustic. Like voyage, like you're going on a trip across the sea, and air, like the stuff that you breathe. I'm sure there's pictures of it. It's a CD140. The guy seems to be excited about it. I've never been impressed by anything in the CD series. So that's what it is. I don't know what this is worth. I don't even know where I would start trying to price this. When you look for it, nothing comes up. I don't know. It's really, really dumb. That's all I got. That's all I can say. It's the folding Fender. No retail price. This says it was on Shark Tank. Make up my mind. Was it on Shark Tank or Dragon's Den? Come on. Come on. Tell me what I'm supposed to feel here. Tell me what I am supposed to do with this. Jeez. This is just neck. This is a neck. It's an acoustic guitar that folds in half at the neck joint. Is this a thing people want? Like, it's an acoustic. Just get a tiny acoustic. That's what I think. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because I've never seen one. Sassy Cat says it's on Reverb. I guess I'm not just finding it. I actually just found a listing for one on Amazon, but apparently there is no price. They're currently unavailable. Let's see, what's this Reverb one? $436.87. That's what the listing did end, but that sounds right. That sounds fair. I would, if somebody said, "Hey, this is $436," I would be interested in that. Oh, geez. If you just look for Voyager, there's a bunch of these like OM style ones, and they go for anywhere from 2,200 all the way down to like 840. But then somebody's got one for 450. It definitely seems like nobody actually cares about any of these. And you can get these pretty cheap if you're just waiting for someone who's not selling you a new one. Yeah, this is just awful. Ryan says he might come back. He says I just wasted all of my time, that I should have ended the show, but I didn't. Anyway, I guess that's the end of the show. We're going to start it all over. We're going to finish it up tomorrow, I guess. I'm not sitting on my bed. I'm sitting on that chair. I'm going to stop the recording. Stop my end of the recording now. Oh, weird. It stopped on its own at 55 minutes. What? Oh, it stopped. Probably it stopped when I unplugged the microphone. Shoot. Wait, is that what happened? No way. When I stopped it totally stopped recording. Well, I guess it's a good thing we stopped anyway. So well, that's a bummer. That is super weird. Saving 337. Well, I know the stream is still going, guys. I'm just saying I'm running Audacity here on the back end. And earlier when Ryan was saying my audio was being wackadoodle, I unplugged my microphone and it shut it down. So we're still live streaming here. Sounds like we're going to do a do-over tomorrow night. We're going to probably pick up with the album review. May have to pick up a little earlier. Unfortunately, you guys are in the chat and I can't bring you in because I don't have control over that. But what do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to know? You want to know about this room? You want to? Oh, let me show you that pedal board I was talking about earlier. I guess I don't need these headphones anymore. Check this guy out. Oh, the album just went away. How did that happen? This is like a fun little 3-pedal. This is like a preamp XLR. It's like a little amp modeler guy. That's a pretty cool thing there. This is a board I built. This is IKEA. It's IKEA build, K-Line Power 5. Damien, that Gibson feels great. I still have not plugged it into anything, but it feels great. I need to adjust the stuff and things and stuff. I need to fix it's got a little bit of a bow. Ryan's in the chat. Is he going to rejoin the video? We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is like a surfy, I forget what color it says this is. It doesn't really show up on the camera quite as green as it is. I want to paint a guitar this color though. This the rubberneck is super cool. It's got the effect on the rubberneck rate, or you can use the regen if you hold this down. Just make some crazy kind of things going on. So I do use the rubbernecking feature occasionally. It's just wild. It's like you want to throw it on for like just a second. Just a second. Yeah, this is definitely not sky blue. This is like it's a green. It's a Krylon color. I don't remember exactly what Krylon it is. But it is a Krylon, some kind of Krylon green. Nope, not Chalky Waterfall. Not Satin Jade. Apparently they don't have it at Lowe's. I don't know. I think it's a green. Maybe it's a blue. To me, it's a seafoam. My OD of choice. I mean, whether or not you can get an affordable surfboard MIDI, that's up to Ryan. He makes those affordable videos. I feel like you should be able to. The EQD on that board was the afterneath. It's the reverb. My OD of choice is hey, you made it back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, Ryan. So it turns out that when you had me where I guess you didn't have me, but when you said my audio was weird, so I unplugged and plugged my microphone back in, it Audacity automatically stopped. So works out.
Yeah, awesome. So I completely spilled beer all over the computer, all over the laptop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Damien's here too.
Hey, Damien.
Let me see if I can get that picture up on the screen.
So hold on. So Robot Master Switch, that's not a bass pedal board. I was actually going to run my either my Strat or my Telecaster through that. And I will say, backing up my OD of choice, probably like I rotate through, and it's not actually on my board right now, but I would say my OD of choice is the Timmy. It's probably my OD of choice, but right now I have the Like My Pedals K2 on my board, which is a Klon style pedal. You
have that Palmer on there too, right?
Yeah, so the Palmer Pre, that's what I use for my direct out.
What's that like? What's the sound profile like? What's it close to? I remember you talking about it forever ago.
So the setting that I use is so there's 3 settings. That's the Palmer one. I'm trying to remember what they are because I only use one of them, but the setting that I use, I think, is called Vintage something. Here we go. Here's a picture so I can reference it. So I use Vintage Crunch, and Vintage Crunch is kind of like a tweed, like not a dimes tweed, but it's like a, I don't know, like a tweed on 5 kind of a thing. So the Vintage Clean is a little like too crystally, a little too like jazz chorusy. The Vintage Crunch is one where it's like if you're on the neck pickup, it's going to be clean, and if you go into the bridge pickup, it's going to be dirty.
Oh, okay.
The British, there's
breakup.
Yeah, and so there's like a British there. So the 3 amps are vintage British and US. The modes are clean, crunch, and heavy. So like US heavy is like a full on like Mesa, scoopy, like balls to the wall. The British heavy is like a cranked Marshall kind of a thing. So it's got a pretty good range, but for church stuff, I think like, you know, I use the Vintage Crunch as my bass, as my basic setting, and then everything else is just pedals.
Yeah.
So is it like Joe Walsh's Funk 49 setting?
I have no idea what that means. I
It's okay.
For the beer.
Also, Ryan, yeah, that picture was
that dark, delicious beer. I weep for it.
I spilled so much.
Oh, the horror.
I spilled so much. That's gonna be the next shirt. That has to be the next shirt.
It's bad. I spilled a lot of beer.
Sassy, I'll have to go back and listen to
It needs to just be
Funk 49. I'm pretty sure I've heard it before now that I looked it up real quick. I do know who Joe Walsh is. I'm not that far gone. Man, Ryan, I'm so sad I didn't get to hear your thoughts on that album.
Well, here's what I think we should do. I think you and I should live stream again tomorrow for the second part of the podcast, and then I'll stitch it together for the audio.
All right.
Big Ear, Grant, and Karen have joined. I think you guys need to put on headphones because I'm hearing an echo.
I'm hearing two things. I'm hearing all kinds of
I
echo.
might have the other.
You're hearing yourself echo.
Showing.
Oh,
I did that too, so I turned it off.
I had YouTube open in another tab.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Because I was confused as hell. I was like, no, I'm hearing the echo.
So here's that picture again. I was so flustered over Steve's mic issues, I couldn't figure it out. I absentmindedly knocked over my beer, spilling it all over the computer. I need to look up to figure out how spill resistant those airs are, because I turned it off like as an emergency, like I held down the power button and turned it off. And then cleaning up the keys with paper, it turned it back on because it felt me doing things. I was like, no, stay off. I had to turn it off 3 times and kept turning on. So it's not instantly fried, but I'm worried about the keys being sticky now because that's a very sticky beer.
Is it possible to turn it over and kind of prop it up? So
yeah, I turned it over to see if liquid was flowing out and nothing was dripping out of it. So I'm gonna.
Oh,
I think it's gonna be fine. I'm just worried about those keys being sticky now.
You should use some baby wipes to wipe that up, man. You got a baby.
Yeah,
I'll use baby wipes.
Baby wipes would work.
But man, I hope it's not fried. I hope that water didn't, that the beer didn't get in there, because that's what happened to my last laptop. Is it got wet? I feel like such a dumbass right now.
Your last laptop, you dumped beer on it too?
No, last laptop, kids attacked it with a squirt gun.
Oh, right. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's so rough.
I have a horror story regarding water in a computer, if you want to hear it real quick. So basically, I had a basset hound, and I usually would have the computer or desktop under the desk or something, but it got too hot, so I had it on the side of my desk. Well, apparently he had a problem with electrical things, and one day it was a July hot day and it wouldn't turn on, and I'm like, what's going on? So I unplugged it, put it on my lap, was looking at the inside, and all of a sudden I see this liquid rolling from one end of the inside the body to the other, and then all over me, and I'm like, ah!
Oh, no.
So yeah, it was fried. It was ruined. So I don't keep the computers on the floor anymore. So
I'm gonna have to have a sippy cup rule for podcasting now if I can't keep myself from spilling.
You're gonna have to drink you're gonna put your beer in like a Starbucks. You gotta just get a Starbucks mug, one of those spill-proof mugs,
or the hat with the
the hat.
Yeah, dude.
I need the hat,
like a little camel pack, and just be like,
oh my god.
Because you're an active podcaster.
I drink so rarely now that I'm bad at it.
How
don't
drunk
you
are
have
you
one
right
of your
now,
kids'
Ryan?
old Tommy Tippy cups somewhere?
I'm not drunk at all. If I hadn't spilled all that beer, I could have drank it and then I'd be drunk.
It's a double whammy.
This is all your fault, Grant. You sent me beer money.
I know.
Oh my
I told
gosh.
Karen, I was like, "Oh shit, I feel like a jerk."
That's why he sent us money for dry goods.
Yeah.
Now, this wouldn't happen if we were eating stuff.
Yeah. See.
Now it's laptop money.
I think it's gonna. I've got hopes that it's gonna be fine. but man, that was rough.
I mean, I didn't have any problems.
And it, like on top of it, Steve's mic is going bad. We're having all these technical issues. It's just a disaster of an episode.
I don't even think my mic was going bad. Everyone in the chat said it was only on your side.
Something about the stream what it did is it muted me, and then when I unmuted myself, your mic was bad. I was like, what is going on? I have no idea it was playing when it unmuted me, then it was playing your mic through my laptop speakers. I have no idea.
Weird.
Super bizarre.
Your computer's possessed.
Ghosts.
Yeah,
Ghost. It was producer Gary.
Producer
Ghost in the
Gary,
machine.
Ghost of producer Gary.
He's coming back for you.
Yeah.
He wants his job back.
I'll look for MacBook Air water. Whoa! It was listening to me. It's the first search result.
Creepy.
They're always listening, Ryan.
Oh, it's
I know, right?
terrifying.
No, it's because the computer knows, and it's like this is the thing you should be searching for right now.
Did anyone else's computer just flash at them whenever I said they're always listening? Like it was taking a picture of your face?
Yes.
Yeah.
in a very creepy way.
Man.
How many of you have echo dots?
Even a small amount of water is enough to cause permanent damage to your MacBook.
Oh,
I guess I'm putting it in rice tonight.
I put it upside down. You'll be fine.
I'll put it upside down and in rice.
I think baking soda, not that you want to spread it all over, but it supposedly helps,
Baking
dry
soda.
out stuff. Yeah. I think. I don't know. Don't listen to me. I don't know.
it might be yeast.
Or rice would be better because it's like larger pieces of substance
Yeah.
that pick up the liquid better.
I've always heard rice, so I think that's what I'm going to try. But then, like, no fluid was coming out of the keys, and I held it upside down and I was pressing the keys, and like there was no moisture coming out. I don't know.
From the picture, it didn't look like you spilled a ton directly on
I
top.
poured it directly onto the keys. That's what it hit. And then when I lifted up the laptop and it all poured down onto the table.
Yeah.
Well, aren't the keys on most like the Apple laptops aren't they like a silicone little bumpy thing? I don't have an Apple.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's a single piece of silicone rubber.
Yeah, so I
moisture.
think it should, unless you were like actively typing.
It was a
while
pretty
also
thick
pouring.
It was a pretty thick beer too, so maybe like it didn't get through the cracks.
Just like
I'm gonna go check it real quick and get it prepped to dry out, and you guys have fun. I'll be right back.
Jeez.
You could pop out every key,
Robot Ryan.
but that would suck.
Oh yeah. It's been a hot minute since I've ruined an electronic, knock on wood. I remember I had like this knockoff BlackBerry that I dropped in a friend's hot tub, and it was in there for a solid like 10 seconds. Pulled it right out and it was perfectly fine. Like no rice, nothing was needed.
That's
Yeah, that was,
Wow.
I feel like, yeah. But I feel like with like
Steve.
iPhones and stuff.
Yes.
You look better than Ryan now.
I mean, have you seen this face? So
You know what I'm saying.
I pulled up a little music for you guys. This is what I think happened.
Sabotage.
That's right, guys. Ryan sabotaged himself.
Yeah.
He was like, I don't like where this episode's going. I don't want to talk about this album. Oh, I spilled my beer.
I can't hear
Yeah, it was right after you said you liked it.
And he's like,
So
oh,
do we need to start a Kickstarter?
What's that?
Do we need to start a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe for Ryan now to get a new laptop for him?
We literally just replaced his previous laptop just a few months ago.
Oh,
So this is the new laptop. That's the problem.
Grant, how do you feel about a sponsorship for a laptop?
I'm already thinking about it. I'm figuring it out.
No, I think it's gonna be fine. I think this one will be.
We just gotta figure it out. If it doesn't work, then we figure that out.
Oh
If
man,
it works and it's sticky, he can just deal with that. Quit doing your shit.
Just be a constant reminder to him just to keep on his toes, man. Yeah.
Jeez.
Tommy Tippy.
Tommy. I've got one of those somewhere around here.
You should send it to him.
This is why I quit drinking by the way. Not because I would spill things on computers, but because when other people would spill things on computers, I'd get really, really pissed off at them. Be like, don't you do that to beer.
It's true. It's
I think
true.
you need to get
Cheers.
like a home
Like
branded
licking his keys and
so that whenever
What happened here?
we're all watching this,
Oy.
we can have little.
what the hell are you on our
branded
website for? I see what you're doing, Steve.
What's up?
I see what you're doing.
What am I doing? Looking at your website?
Creeping.
Isn't technology creepy?
How can you tell what I'm doing?
It says
It
it
says-
The
says
reflection in your glasses.
yeah.
Oh.
Because you used your email on our website before, and so
Oh,
And so now we know.
that's
Forevermore.
weird.
yeah,
So it tells you when people are browsing your website.
yeah, it'll tell you where they're from and if they've ever subscribed to your email list or bought something before.
That's
They're on your
Jeez.
wild. I was actually looking to see if you guys still made the Z delay.
Nope.
No, we don't. Though it was a nice pedal.
Wow.
Is it
That
delay?
was-
No more.
Do not make it.
That was one that that was the so I got the woodcutter years ago, and then I was gonna get a Z delay, and then I didn't.
I
That's
think there
that's the
are.
full story.
I think there's only like 50 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you ever see one, snag it if you want one because you won't see it probably again. So
Wow.
I don't even. Do we even have to?
I have one. I think I have one for myself. I don't have. I'm trying to save one of every pedal
Oh,
I've ever
wow.
made. And I don't.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a little collection.
I'm,
But we
I'm not
we
there
don't
yet.
have a Buff Daddy.
I have to buy one of my own pedals off Reverb now, off someone else because I mean I could make a new one, but I want one from then. You know what I mean?
There
Do you
are
keep, like-
apparently there's 4 Buff Daddies on Reverb.
I saw that. Yeah.
There's 1 or 2 Shakas on Reverb.
There's more of those than the Z delay. But only a couple.
Grant, do you try to keep like the first, like the serial number 1 pedal, or just like anyone? You're just
Yeah.
like,
I in the beginning I was keeping 1, 2, and 3, and now I just
Nice.
keep the first one.
Hmm.
But because that's only because after a while it's like you have so many pedals,
Ryan's
Yeah, exactly.
it's like overwhelming.
And
How
then
many?
you have to store them.
Yeah, how many
Yeah.
like, closets are just full of examples of pedals and prototypes and stuff. So it's like eventually it's like nah.
And then there's not enough room for the amps.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. My issue is that every pedal I get, I just force it onto my board. So my admittedly huge 15 by 30 board is just crammed with stuff, and I'm still looking for new ways to like add stuff to it. Like, oh, I can like jam this, just like have, like
If you have room under the
like
board,
hang off the side.
you could always put a bunch of pedals under the board and just do a true bypass looper.
Yeah.
If they're like a
actually would
compressor
probably be a
or
really
like a
good
reverb
idea.
that you leave like set, you know?
I just want to address one thing in the comments. Robot Master Switch says the L reverb is gassing me hard. You should just get one.
Just get one.
That's been my always on reverb.
You
for,
know
like,
what?
the last
Steve is wrong though. Steve is wrong. Get
I
2
will
stereo.
make it with love for you. And I like, I'm not sure who that is, but
So I've got the L and I've got the Meteore, and they do very different things, which is great because I use the L. Like the L's just always on. It's just always on all the time. I don't turn it off. And then the Meteore kicks in when like I really need like the L is like atmospheric, and then the Meteore is what I use from Caroline Guitar is what I use when I need to go like to a different planet. So it's like I'm gonna stay in Earth and do all these earthy, really cool like high atmosphere things. That's the L. Then I decided like I need to go like hang out on Jupiter for a little bit. It's a great 1-2 punch.
So Jupiter was really big the other day, or we were really close to Jupiter.
I was just saying Jupiter's pretty big all the time.
It's always big. It has that big eye, right? So
yes,
yeah, the big
sees
storm.
everything, just like the computer.
It looked big to us. Did you guys see that? Speaking of planets, I just saw like an incredible picture of Saturn earlier today.
I saw that one. It looked really nice this time of year.
From I guess the Hubble. Yeah, it was. I've never seen it. I've never seen that. That was amazing. It looked
You've
like
never
there's
seen
no way that's a
Saturn?
photo.
You've never seen a photo of Saturn?
Not that looked like.
Right.
That, I mean, I guess camera technology is a hell of a lot better than it used to be. Like,
But it was from the Hubble, which is like a 40-year-old camera at this point.
Oh yeah, so damn.
Guys,
I didn't think about that. I just said
fake. Satellites don't exist. We've never been to the moon. Every 30 years, some graphic designers like, we need some new pictures from space. Give me a minute.
I wonder if it's honestly
look at this
I've only
nebula
ever
I
seen,
found.
like, pictures of these things in books, so it's like being printed, or like maybe just because like looking on my iPhones was just so bright and
vivid.
My
wife and I are huge science channel geeks and always watch the How the Universe Works and the other space shows for that stuff. So yeah, and they said a comet is actually going to be visible if it hasn't already happened.
Yeah, that comet is supposed to have been visible for a while, but we have so much light pollution here that I haven't been able to see it.
Yeah. I've heard that you can see it if you have it, and you can see it in the city if you have binoculars.
Oh, because it's super tiny.
Yeah, but it sounds like if you go out somewhere with a lot less light pollution, that you can make it out without binoculars.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I heard about it on Nextdoor, guys.
Oh man.
So there was a conversation on Nextdoor in our little community about whether or not you should walk your dog to the left or the right, because I guess when you're training, you walk the dog on the left, and then you walk on the left, but then you're walking directly into people, who are walking the opposite way. So do you walk your dog on the right, or do you walk it on the left?
Just look ahead of you and be considerate of people. Like,
yeah. But this was a long thing, and all kinds of people had all.
Oh yeah, Nextdoor is bananas. Like people go crazy. All right, SD Design wants me to answer this question. I know it was asked a bunch of time. You missed a super chat question. Can we get an affordable surfboard mini? Yes, I'll do that eventually.
What is that?
So the affordable is my videos where I
know that, but what's a surfboard mini?
Where I'm assuming it means where I put together a bunch of pedals that'll give me a surf sound. So a drippy reverb and a tremolo, a fuzz, a drive, basic
I was thinking
stuff.
like, have you ever seen when people make like on a skateboard pedal board? I was imagining a mini little surfboard.
Right. If I put pedals on a surfboard, that would be a huge pedal board.
But don't you make surfboards?
I used to. It got too stinky for my family to put up with it anymore. So, but I've made about 5 or 6 surfboards.
Nice.
So you could make a surfboard pedal board.
I could. It would be a big waste of time, but I could do it.
I just got the Surfy Bear Classic that arrived today. Yeah. I mean, I've got a 64 Fender reverb unit, and I've got a million reverb pedals that I'm going to do comparisons on, but the Surfy Bear is pretty sweet.
It's pretty damn good. I'm curious to know how you think it compares to your 64.
I'll do a demo of it.
Stuff.
So, but I also like the compact one, the smaller one. Yeah. But I love the Tolex on the classic.
Yeah.
I was like, why did they go metal? Just they should have. I mean, costs, I get it, but
so classy. It's a little funny to me that I went with a big metal one because it has the volume control. I wish they'd put the volume control on the Classic.
Yeah, I realized that today. I'm like, where's the volume control?
Because the Classic is really just like a straight, straight copy of the Fender, just with FETs instead of tubes.
And it's not that you really have to turn up the amp a bit to get it to hear it. I've noticed
that's how a lot of Fender units are. Like they kind of kill your volume.
I don't have a problem with mine, but
you got a 64 though.
Yeah, but lately now this is again first world problems, so don't throw things at me. But I've got a couple vintage amps, and lately I don't know if it's because I put in these kind of old timey Thomas Edison lights in the fan fixture, but my amps are humming like really badly now. So
yeah, maybe the lights.
I have to turn up the guitar volumes and turn down the I'm using a EQ pedal on my board, and that seems to help alleviate that a bit too. But again, not
good to know.
Big deal. Yeah.
I like how you framed your video and like what's important.
I repositioned. I literally moved my desk because they're sitting too high when I had it normally. These are my since you ask. These are my holy trinity. My 63 Jag, 63 Jazzmaster, and 65 Sparkle Blue. It was a special order that they did, or demo, like for NAMM shows, I guess, back in the day. I found it at a local guitar shop. They thought it was a early 70s, and it was filthy. It would stick to you. It was very toxic. But it played great, and the pickup sounded good. I'm like, well, might as well. For $630, I bought it, and then took it home, took it to my tech. He cleaned it up really well. And I was thinking, I really want a Daphne, the original blue. So I took it to my tech, and he's like, dude, this is an original finish. And so we immediately went to the Google. And it turns out there, at the time we looked at it, which was about 3 or 4 years ago, there were two versions of this, much cleaner, much more pristine. One was selling for $10,000, and one was selling for $5,000 or $9,000. I think since downgraded to $5,000. I don't know if they ever sold, but I don't think mine is worth that at all. I'll be lucky, but it's kind of a neat treasure.
Oh, that's super cool.
For real.
And the other two, the only reason I could afford those is they were refinished, but they were done really well.
Yeah. I was gonna say they look pretty cherry for being.
I got a ding on the Jazzmaster. I'm a little I don't mind dings.
Throw it away.
Yeah. I'm have to
smash it.
So, but they're fun.
You got any tall bridges near you?
Yeah.
Steve, catch. No,
when they're nice. A guitar, all the tone leaks out, and it's over.
I don't mind dings. Believe me, I'm all about bumping things all the time, but it is what it is. But it's cool.
Just need a little Bondo and some paint.
I can live with it. It's fine. So
I feel like that's the only way, like, normal quote unquote people can get like vintage gear at this point now. It's like stuff that's like refinned or stuff that's like really just like super beat up. Because I don't know, I'd like scour Reverb since I'm off for the summer right now. I've just been like on Reverb a bunch. Sure. It's like, here's the player grade, and then you have like the collector grade stuff.
And I'm not even normal, but I found these, but what's also fairly reasonably priced, if you can find a refin one, is the old Duosonics. But unfortunately, the Duosonic is.
You guys see that right there?
At the bottom.
See that in front of my face?
At the bottom.
Oh yeah! What is that?
It's a spider.
Oh, neat.
A spider.
Don't hit me.
I was like, what is Steve doing?
I don't know where it came from. It's just hanging out.
The Duosonics for me are too small. So
it'd be crazy if the spider dropped down onto Surfy Sonic. That'd be like, I would quit immediately. I'd be like, no, I'm done. I'm out.
If you remember last week with the mayonnaise thing.
Oh my God.
Steve Martin once said comedy is dangerous, and he proved to be right. I got queasy. Like, this mayonnaise.
That mayonnaise.
No
I
human.
just had one spoon of it, a small spoon.
Just that was mayonnaise once.
I was like, it wasn't a lot. It was just a little bit, but it must have been bad or something. Well, I Googled and it says
Yeah,
egg,
it was
egg
bad.
is
It's
bad.
mayonnaise.
Yeah. So the egg in the mayonnaise is bad. So I was like literally queasy. Nothing else happened, but for a few days, I threw it out the next day.
Few days is not
scary. It's like it was in my taste bud or in this. I don't know. It was weird.
Like clogging your sinuses.
So no more prop comedy for me. No.
So you guys want to hear a weird food story?
No.
Sure.
Do it.
When my wife and I were first dating, when I was dating my ex-girlfriend, current wife, we were hanging out and I was like, and she's like, hey, I'm gonna go make some lunch. Do you want anything? I was like, yeah, make me like a peanut butter sandwich. So she brings me a sandwich. I take a big bite of it. I'm like, something's off. Something is wrong with this peanut butter sandwich. And I look down at it and I like pull it open and she had put butter in there.
Oh.
And apparently that's what her family does with peanut butter sandwiches. I had never had that before. And it like, are we gonna be okay? Are we gonna survive this?
Pennsylvania Dutch do it too.
At least it wasn't mayonnaise, but man, it still like threw me off.
Sounds like a southern thing, like sweet tea.
It does sound very southern. It's like, let's take something that's already not great for you and make it even worse.
Grilled peanut butter sandwich.
I mean, if it was a southern version of a peanut butter sandwich, it would have just had a big spoonful of sugar on it.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm gonna turn in early and let Ryan carry the rest of this. I'm actually gonna go help put my kids to bed.
Late.
Well, we're gonna do this tomorrow anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know what time you're free tomorrow, Steve. I'm assuming it'll be late.
Probably the same time as today.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on the computer. I think the saving grace of it was that it was on the angled stand, and so the beer flowed off of it the moment it poured on. Because I turned it over and I was trying to rest it on the table on top of paper towels, and it turned on again because the moment you press the keys, it turns on.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that it just keeps turning on, even though I don't want it to, I think it's going to be fine. But I dumped a bunch of rice on top of it. So I think it's going to be fine. So if it's good, then we'll podcast tomorrow. I'll keep you updated.
Hopefully it's good. Otherwise, we'll just use we'll just have to use this camera. You'll just have to get some better lighting.
Yeah, I grabbed some lighting here. The thing that I'll have to replace the laptop when I go shoot another road case if it's broken, because I need the laptop exclusively just to transfer cards to an external disk. But
Paul doesn't want me to go. Paul, you're just gonna have to come back tomorrow. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm gonna go too. I can't. I've got to go clean up more beer and stuff. But,
I imagine your laptop under this giant pile of rice out in the garage.
Yeah, I've got it on a cookie sheet in the kitchen, and I've got about 2 inches of rice piled up on top of it.
You guys just got to think about it. You got to think about it this way. We got 2/3 of the episode done tonight, so tomorrow we're probably going to do like 15 minutes of real podcasting, and then it's just going to be hangouts the rest of the night.
Tomorrow night, all we have to do, like tomorrow night, let's redo the album review.
I need to listen to my file and see where it was I dropped out.
Yeah, we'll redo wherever we dropped out. If we have to redo that ad, do the album review, do the last ad, and then call it done. But we'll hang out again tomorrow night on a Friday night, so why not, right?
Woo!
Double up.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Sorry again.
It's not your fault. It's
and Ryan's fault. If he was better at sports.
Maybe next week will be an edible episode.
It's going to be 30 minutes of Steve and Ryan just like...
I'm gonna fall asleep is what's gonna happen.
Steve just kept going with the album over his face for like 20 minutes.
No, I just kept going. I was like, I don't know what just happened, but
yeah. No, I had to shut off the computer ASAP. I was like, I can't talk, I gotta turn this off. And then I was sitting there cleaning up and I realized like Steve is probably still sitting there with everything still running, he can't let anyone into the show because he doesn't have the control side of it.
I wish it would have been like that, like an album that had someone's face on it.
That would have been great.
Oh man.
Like David Lee Roth, see them and smile.
Let's call it a night. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks to everyone who
See you later.
Thanks Grant and Karen for the ridiculous super chat. We will we'll figure that out for either next week or the week after that. Steve thinks there's going to be a lot of logistics involved. I think we're just going to go buy edibles and do our show and see what happens.
And just make sure you drink out of a sippy cup.
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna hydrate anymore. I'm quitting fluids altogether.
Oh my gosh. I will never drink anything ever again.
I'm gonna get
That'll go good with your diabetes. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like a desert lizard. I'm gonna get all my fluids from the food that I eat.
Oh my god. I mean, it'll be effective.
Yeah. All right. So thanks everyone. Let's call it a night.
See you later.
Take care, guys.
Stay grounded.